Welcome to Mzazi Africa. My name is Kunta Brown, and I'm here with my brother, Concern Africa. Today, we are here to continue with what we left off last week, our last video that we talk about medical tourism. Today, we are here to continue, and the matters are arising after our first video concerning medical tourism. We both had a few interactions from individuals who are actually like passionate about this topic and how we can expand on this. So we decided to come back here for another edition. Today there is a lot of news in online and on the Africa content about this medical tourism and how it's crippling our continent. And we're talking about the waste in the system and how average individual will not be able to get this treatment that our ministers of state, our government officials are receiving from advanced countries or the Western countries. So today, I'm here with my brother, Concern. So, Concern, can you talk a little bit about medical tourism again? If somebody is today is somebody's first time of listening to the discussion that we are having on this platform called medical tourism. What is medical tourism?
Yes, thank you again. Welcome to the second part of the edition of the medical tourism. Yes, in simple terms, just to make it very simple, medical tourism is when an individual is leaving his home country to another country to seek medical attention. It's either the condition cannot be treated in his own country, and the host country is best recommended to treat his he or she illness. It's practically that is the term for medical tourism.
So how is it affecting the content of Africa?
Well, it's affecting the content of Africa tremendously. So what me and you discussed about last time, and when you go to the platform, it has been very much talk about. A lot of people talk about it, and all social media and the rest of it. You know, the last time we obviously, came out with a figure of $6 billion. That that is been the money terms that leave our continent to other various countries, other continents for treatment. So that is a whopping fund that leaves us to another country, and it's very damaging financially to us.
Yes, I think we talk about this $6 billion that was spent on medical tourism by our leaders in Africa. These are government officials we are talking about, not an ordinary citizen who has his or her own money and going for medical treatment. But we are talking about taxpayers, those who are being paid with taxpayers' money, right? We are paying these individuals, we are paying these government officials, and they are using our money to take care of themselves abroad. What we are saying here is not that they don't deserve a good healthcare. They deserve it. Each and everyone deserves a good healthcare. But what we are talking about is they are wasting our money on medical tourism. Because in the year 2017, they spent $6 billion on medical tourism. And based on our investigation, a 3.2 million square feet of hospital, right? 3.2 million square feet hospital space, all right? A building that could be like a 5, 10, 60-story building. The cost of that hospital is just about 3.2 billion, but they were able to spend $6 billion just 1 year. And at the end of the day, it's not that they finish or they stop this medical tourism on 2017. It's continuing. This thing is just ongoing. It's ongoing. So we are here to talk about how this is damaging the continent healthcare system, how it's depriving average medical doctor from practicing, right? And it's causing them to leave the continent because there's no incentive. They don't have equipment to work with. All the hospitals are dilapidated. If you go to my own country, I'm from Ghana, right? if you go to the Kuala Lumpur, which being the biggest hospital in the country, it's just an eyesore, right? You see pregnant women laying on the floor. You see sick people like laying on the floor, and you cannot stop thinking about this, that if an average individual cannot have that luxury to take medical or seek for medical care outside the continent, then our leaders, our ministers should not also do it. If they want to do it, they should invest the money on the continent so that when the average person can take care of themselves, then the minister too can take care of themselves. The whole thing that we are saying is that they are our servants, right? They are our servants. They are not just our bosses. If you are a minister, if you are a president, you are a servant. You are not our boss. You are serving us. And we want you to know that the money that the taxpayers are using to pay you is not the money that you have to take to United States for your medical health care. It's not the money that the country is giving you to take to United Kingdom for your medical health care. If you want a good health care, invest those money into the continent. Invest those money into the healthcare system in the country. I know you sent me, we read about the information about Kenneth Ofori-Atta, the president designated minister of finance for Ghana. Can you tell us what is going on with him right now?
Yes, yes. The sitting finance minister is in the United States for treatment or checkup for complication after prior treatment in Ghana for coronavirus. And there are thousands of people that have died that had the coronavirus in Ghana. So what happened to their fate? They couldn't travel because they're not ministers of states. But he can travel out of the country, and it's very shameful because you are the minister of states. You have the power to allocate budgets. So he was unable to allocate enough budgets in order to revamp the crippling medical system in Ghana. But he had to seek the face of the United States for medical treatment. It's so shameful. But he's not the beginning, and he's not going to be the end. It is something that's running all over Africa. And surprisingly, shameful enough, when you look into the 52 states to 54 states of Africa, they tend to have something that's running through all of them. And the system is, all of them is to have an allocated budget set up for ministers to have a healthcare abroad. And it's disgusting. If you remember in 2008, China had a summit. They call it African Summit.
Right.
Now, at the end of the summit, the African state was awarded $1 billion from the Chinese. And the entire African student was clapping and applauding China for giving them $1 billion. And it was very shameful to me.
Very
shameful. For $1 billion, still China have rescued you with $1 billion. And these are $1 billion that when people look into Africa, some of our football stars put together like Drogba's and the rest of them, probably 10 or 20 of them, great African sons that are into sports, can even come out with this money and give to them. But you guys are even taking $6 billion out of our money for medical treatment. And yet you are applauding China for giving you just $1 billion as a continent, as a whole. So this is something, the waste, that is not that the system has to change. We have to tackle this thing head on. We have to put aside diplomacy. I spoke to you, prior to this broadcast, that we have to look for ways to arrest this. And what I'm looking at personally, I mean, from other, not personal, I've spoken to other few people within the continent-wide issue, that we have to find a way of speaking to our American counterparts and European and other Asiatic community, whereby our sitting ministers shouldn't be granted visa to come for medical tourism or for help. If the Europeans really do think that they love Africa, that they're giving our aid, if the Americans really think that they love Africa, if they really, it's the time that they have to demonstrate this to us. They have to demonstrate this to the ordinary citizens of Africa that we do care about you. We don't care about the continent. Then the time has come for them to start denying some of our ministers the visa to travel abroad.
It's true. If you think about what is going on right now, I'm really sad, right? Because if the finance minister of Ghana can travel and take care of himself, any ordinary citizen whose money is being used to pay this finance minister, that person doesn't have that opportunity. That person doesn't have that chance. That even if he's just a breadwinner for all his children, that in case that person dies, there will be nobody to take care of him. He will still die out of that lack of treatment. But with all the money that we have and the treatment that he could have even received on the continent, they decided to fly him to the United States for medical care, right? So our issue is investment, one, like putting investing in the healthcare system that will be able to take care of everybody. I believe that there is no single person or there's no single a senator or in the United States who will get sick and say, oh, let's fly that person to China for treatment or even Canada for treatment. No, they make sure that they treat that person on the continent, in-house, because every person, each person and each continent, we are also unique in a way, right? We know how to take care of ourselves. So if all this is going on, like you talk about how we can deprive our leaders from traveling abroad, we can do that. But do you think the Europeans will do it? Do you think the United States will do it? Because at the end of the day, we are helping their health system to grow. The money, you cannot prevent them, right? I know we had this discussion, but what I'm saying is that when we talk about this medical tourism, our leaders must know that it is a must that we have to develop our own healthcare system that will take care of us. We talk about the holistic approach of like healthcare from our herbs and other food products, right? That are on the continent that we can use to cure different kinds of ailments. And also thinking about all the medical facilities that we have. Like if we are talking about Ghana settings right now. We have like Kina Pharma, you have NS Chemist, you have all those big pharmaceutical companies. One thing that I have realized is that the only thing that they are doing, right, is producing this kind of herbal drinks for sexual enhancement. But what is actually preventing them from investing into like research into malaria, research into polio, research into some of this who are actually like has become like endemic to tropical region of the world, which is predominantly Africa, right? Because Africa country, if you have temperate areas, are very, very minute place like some part of South Africa. Other than that, the entire continent is very warm, right? It's very warm. So it breeds a lot of mosquitoes and other parasites that cause a lot of disease. But our local pharmaceuticals, they don't have any incentives in venturing into this kind of research. And I don't think they don't have this incentive. It happened just on a silver platter or just happened by accident. But maybe because they don't have the leadership from the government. They don't have that kind of backing from the government. Because I know with this COVID right now that we talk about in the United States and in Europe, the government give the research companies a lot of money and also promise them that when you come out with this kind of a product, you'll also be able to buy it for you. But this kind of leadership, we said, is lacking. So first, we don't have investment in our healthcare system. And the little that we have is actually like collapsing right now. Our ministers are using the resources that we have to travel to other parts of the world, and they are wasting our money. It is a waste. They are not seeking for it. They are wasting our money. Because an average minister who travels to seek for medical attention in the United States, in the United Kingdom, does not travel just by himself. Or he does not just travel and spend just maybe $10,000. It is way more than that. It is way more than that. So we are saying that our leaders think twice about the money that you are spending in the outside the continent and invest the money into the continent. Other than that, a time is coming very soon that there's going to be a revolution that no leader will be able to travel for medical tourism. If you're sick and you are not able to take care of you, you are a leader of that department. You are a leader of that healthcare department. You are the government. So what did you do? What did you do to improve that condition? This is just an issue that we are discussing here. And with what just came out about the finance minister of Ghana being flown to the United States for medical treatment has actually like thrown more light onto the issue that we are talking about on medical tourism.
Yes, if you remember when this whole coronavirus issue started, remember that the Prime Minister of Great Britain, Boris Johnson, had coronavirus, and he was treated here in the UK. It came to a point, his situation was a bit critical, and given the efficiency of the NHS, he was able to go through the whole process and eventually came victorious. This is a show to you that these people are dedicated to their system. Boris Johnson can easily be flown to the United States. After all, I mean, he was born in the US, so he was previously holding the United States citizenship. He has both. I know that on authority anyway. But he decided to stay at home in Great Britain, live here, and make sure that he was taken care of. Like other ministers within the European continent, they perform, whenever they encounter any stuff, they make sure they're treated here. And remember, His Excellency Mugabe, Gaddafi, says, well, I'm born and bred in Africa continent, I remain here and I die here. Even when he was under siege, he had the opportunity to leave the country to somewhere else. He said, no, I am born and bred in Libya. This is my home. I remain here. This is leadership. What happened to Ofori-Atta? Ofori-Atta is a coward. Ofori-Atta is the finance minister. If other people from other part of Africa don't know him, he's a coward. He decided to set medical, the very system that he has destroyed by not allocated funds. He was very easy to allocate money for his ministers and his cohorts to buy V8 that are over $100,000. It's very easy to sign the check for it, but it's very difficult for him to sign money to improve the health system of the country. These are the things that I say that the only solution that is available to us right now is for us to start speaking to the other department, like say United States State Department and the rest of that. We must caution them that they should look into their heart that if they are not traveling, they're not coming to us for medical treatment or medical tourism, then they shouldn't be allowing people to come to us. That would be the fairness of democracy. Democracy must be played on a level playing field. If they think that they are tired of democracy, and I can assure you that health, we're traveling over to them, is part of democratic rights as we speak. Right. It means the level of democracy is not being played here. So the State Department, the European Union, the Asiatic community, and the host, they shouldn't be hosting our ministers for healthcare. We must stop it now. And there will be the best protocol for them to give us a leading hand. And since they're giving us democracy that we are taking on board, then they must take charge of depriving. It's a must. We're not even making compromises. They should come over that look. Because they themselves cannot even stand in some of our hospitals for 2 minutes for treatment. Who is responsible? Is this our minister states? They have the power. They hold the check. Why are they depriving us? And why our European citizens and the rest are allowing them to come in? Is it just money?
Yes.
Then if it's money, then we don't need their democracy anymore. It has to end. Because it means that democracy is being fake. We have to end it now. Then I believe that if they can do this for us, then we're going to have a meaningful strike when our minister, because when they come back here to get treatment and it doesn't work, they come to us to die. So it doesn't mean that Africa continent is the land of the dead and Europe and America is the land of the living. When they come over here, they come down to Europe and America and they've been treated unsuccessfully, they come back home and come and die in our continent.
And die.
We should deprive them of burial if they come to seek medical treatment. That should be another solution. We should deprive them of burial. We have respect as Black people for the dead, but the time has come that we are going to desecrate their dead body. If they choose to come and get healing from here and it doesn't work and they fail them, then when they come back home, we will deprive them of burial. We have the numbers. We, the ordinary citizens, are the masses. They just constitute few, just about 5–10% of us. We can do what we want. The time of diplomacy, the time of giving them respect is overdue. They should turn themselves around by improving our health system. By so doing, we will leave as one.
So what we are saying here is that our leaders, we have made this plain to you. You cannot leave our healthcare system dilapidated, okay? You cannot leave our healthcare system without investment because of you have the luxury to travel outside. If my mother, my sister, my cousin over there is just lying down in Korle Bu, waiting to get 10 so that he can get a bed to deliver, and you have the luxury to travel outside to take off your small medical healthcare condition, and a pregnant woman is laid down on the floor, most of them will die. Some of them will deliver on the floor without any attention. But you are using our money, our taxpayers' money. And we are always stretching our hand to receive aid from Europeans. They are not giving you any money. It's your own money that they are giving part of it to you. So instead of you giving that money to them and for them giving you a part of it, why can't you use that money on your continent? Develop the healthcare system that when you travel to the United States, that when you travel to the United Kingdom, the healthcare system that you see, a hospital that looks like a hotel, that you can stand, that when you go to Korle Bu, when you go to Komfo Anokye, a mile before you get to the hospital, you smell all medical scent in the air. So please, we are treating this topic as a very delicate topic. It's very important to us because a hand that gives is a hand that rules. We are being always like seeking for help from these advanced countries, and they are ruling over us in every area of our life, from the clothes that we wear to the food that we eat, and then to the healthcare that we receive. So the ball is in your court. Today, we've talked about the waste in the system, how we can eliminate this waste, that cutting down this medical tourism, preventing our leaders from traveling abroad, because most of the time, when they do travel and they come back, they come and die. So if you continue doing that, when you die in abroad, you make sure they bury you over there, because you don't deserve your body. The content of Africa don't deserve a dead body. Okay, we also want life. The content deserves lives. So if you are going there for your healthcare treatment and you die, make sure you get buried over there. Your family will just take care of you over there wherever. But what we are saying is that invest in our healthcare system. If our continent can allocate 10% of their GDP into healthcare, we know it will employ a lot of people, and our healthcare system will develop that. A time will come, less than 5–10 years, nobody will travel. Nobody, no president, no government official will travel to advanced world for any kind of treatment at all, because we have the professionals, we have the healthcare professionals who are dedicated, who are trained. And when you travel here, there are the people who are working here for you, who are taking care of you. So we are saying, take care of this, the system, and the system will take care of you. My brother will close up right now, and then we bring this recording to an end.
Excellent, man. I love the last phrase. Take care of the system, and the system will take care of you. That is a very broad statement and very holistic in itself. I mean, in addition to what you just said, I won't have much to say because it's very well summarized. It's a caution to our leaders to take care of the system and still take. And it's an evidence here in Europe. It's an evidence in North America. Very quickly, we as Black people obviously have a way of medically taking care of ourselves. It's just that we haven't looked more into. We haven't put a lot of research into that. Our health are very important to us, as I always say. That the herbs are for the healing of the nation. It's not just a statement that that has been made. The father of medicine treated a lot of sickness that was brought to him through herbs. So it's alternative medicine into herbs. It's something that we also have to look into in the future broadcast, and it's very consistent, with the African body healing. As I always say, this is just part of the end of the show. If people don't know, most of the herbs that we have has 104 minerals. It's the same thing as human. So once we go into those herbs, once we take them, it's what we call the chemical affinity. It will be consistent with the body, and it's going to give us defined healing. But I caution our governments and other health partners and people into the stakeholders, into our health systems, to look into herbs very secretly, because it might just have the healing that we're looking for. Thank you.
And if you are new to the channel, you watch this channel and you like it, please like it for us. And when you like it, please subscribe on the channel. And then our next recording will just come straight to you. Thank you for watching.